All right, Fareed, we are live. Thanks so much. Take it away.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. My name is Fareed Shalhoot, and I am the Associate Director at Wayne State University's Office of International Programs. I'm excited to be with you here today. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, which is located about 10 minutes away from the Canada border. I will kind of go into a bit of the details of Wayne State University for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then we will go through questions and answers afterwards. So feel free to start putting in questions so we could filter through those. And I'm sure that a lot of the questions that are on your mind or concerns will get addressed in the presentation, but if they do not, I'm happy to answer them at the end. All right, so for today, I want to really talk to you about why Wayne State. Why Wayne State University? There are so many thousands of universities and colleges across the world, but why come to Wayne State? I'll talk a bit about our academic programs and the type of institution that we are in, the admissions processes, as well as scholarships, and then finally Q&A. So if there are any questions that are not covered or you want clarification, you are welcome to put in the chat. So about Wayne State. Wayne State University is a Research One university, which is on the highest level of prestige that a university can receive. We are also a Carnegie Mellon recognized institution. We are located in the heart of Midtown Detroit in the state of Michigan in the United States. So if you look at the map, that is the United States, and the green is the state of Michigan, but the yellow dot is where Detroit, Michigan is located, and that is where we are. Wayne State is located in the heart of Detroit. So the majority of the Midtown city really revolves around the campus. We are a nationally ranked premier Research One institution, as I mentioned. We also are home to about 25,000 students total, including 1,300 international students from 84 different countries. I want to just stress on the diversity of our university. So as I mentioned, we are in the heart of Detroit, which is predominantly in the urban city. We have many different businesses, companies, and residential areas that are surrounding our city, our university. And from the 84 different countries, it made us top ranked in the most diverse public institution in the state of Michigan. So with 84 different countries represented, we are ranked number one in diversity from all 15 public universities in the state of Michigan. We have 13 schools and colleges with nearly 350 academic programs. I am sure you'll be able to find at least one program that fits your needs from our 13 schools and colleges. There is a link that I have on our presentation that is wayne.edu/programs. You can filter it through undergraduate and graduate programs, and you could actually be able to see what programs best fits for you. We have the Mike Ilitch School of Business, which is nationally recognized for all of our business school, our business majors. I do want to stress on the Mike Ilitch School of Business has been around for many, many years, but since 2019, right before the pandemic, our business school newly built an entire new business campus for over $40 million. So it is one of the newest state-of-the-art buildings that we have on campus. So if you are a business school, you have your own campus that is off main campus. It is beautiful and has been built in mind to really succeed in your academic program. We have College of Education from bachelor's, master's to PhD in many different forms of your degree program. So our most popular is our elementary education program for the undergraduate session. But for graduate programs, it is for counseling, educational leadership, as well as sports management. So we have those are our top majors in our College of Education. Our largest college is our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. So this is where you'll find your social sciences, your humanities, you'll find your physical sciences, so biological sciences, political science, biochemistry, languages, classics, art history. There are a ton of majors in our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and this is where a majority of our campus student population is housed for their major. Our second largest is our College of Engineering. So Wayne State University is known for our STEM programs, which is our science, technology, engineering, and math programs. College of Engineering is home to our largest international population. There are over roughly 450 of the 1,300 international students that are housed in the College of Engineering. 3 of our engineering programs are in the top 100 in the entire country. So we are a pretty competitive College of Engineering program in school. It does provide you the top training with the professors, with the students, with the community, with internships, and with job prospects. We are very proud of how the College of Engineering has been built. Specifically, our biomedical engineering, computer science, mechanical engineering, and those are our top 3 College of Engineering majors for our incoming students. Our biomedical engineering is ranked top 60 in the country, and we really produce our placement rate for jobs are close to 98% post-graduation. We have, for undergraduate students, you are able to join if you are invited to our Irvin D. Reed Honors College, which is a prestigious program that students are able to join upon admission. We have the law school, the School of Medicine, and College of Engineering. College of Nursing. So those are all specialized programs that require supplemental applications. Those if you are interested in those 3 schools and colleges, that is a conversation you could have with one of our admissions counselors that we could walk you through. School of Social Work, College of Fine Performing Communication Arts, and then finally our Eugene Applebaum College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences houses many different programs. I want to just stress on all these programs we have a general admissions process, which I'll talk about in the future slides, but certain programs have specific requirements other than the general admissions process. So they may have a supplemental essay, application, or an interview process that you will have to go through. So feel free towards the end of this program, you either could take the link off of my PowerPoint, or I'll put it in the chat later on towards the end. Campus. So our Wayne State University is situated within the American Cultural Center, so you could experience hands-on learning experiences by visiting the Detroit Institute of Arts. The Detroit Institute of Arts is known in the United States, and it's on our campus. Wayne State University students get free admission to this, and it is one of the most beautiful art exhibits that you could have in the United States. The Charles H. Wright African American Museum, the Museum of Contemporary Art, and much more. Music, art, and culture is a big component of who we are here. Not only are we known for the STEM, but we are known for the arts because of the city of Detroit. The city of Detroit is known for Motown music. The history of Detroit is really built on that, and Wayne State integrates it not only in their classrooms experiences, but outside of the classroom, so you could get that experience as well. We offer on-campus housing, so 7 different residence halls and apartment complexes to choose from. We offer wireless internet, laundry rooms, workout facilities, meal plans, and much more. If you are a graduate student, there are certain graduate housings that you are required to live in. Or if you are an undergraduate student, there are certain ones too. So I do just want to clarify, it is not a requirement for you to live on campus, but majority, over 50% of our international students do live on campus. Statistics show you have a more success rate living on campus, so you do not have to worry about the commute or finding a car or getting onto the bus. Living on campus, everything is centralized and you are right there and ready to go. We have over 400 student organizations that you can join, with 18 Division II varsity athletic teams. So for our campus, as I mentioned, we are a large public Research One institution, which means that there are a ton of student organizations to get involved in. Our campus is always having everything going on. There's always free food on campus for events. You're meeting friends, you're having a social life, and that is something we encourage, because yes, academics is your top priority, but also having a good balance of your social well-being, mental health, and being able to get to know your city is something that we encourage for all of our students, including our international students. We highly recognize that coming to the United States, to Wayne State University, is a transition for anyone coming to as an international student. So our office, the Office of International Programs, really works with you step by step. And I'll talk a bit about that, from the admissions process to your housing process. I wish that everyone could be in the city of Detroit today to get a campus tour, but unfortunately, that is not the case. But hopefully, when you do join Wayne State's community, you can see it live. But you can take a virtual campus tour at any time at wayne.edu/tour, and it just got put in the chat, so thank you for that. And it is a virtual tour, and you will feel sort of like you are on campus. So take a look at that when you have a chance. And we hope to be able to connect with you in the future. All right, so I'm going to talk. I see a ton of questions about the admissions process, which is why you're here today. So I'm going to start with the undergraduate admissions freshman process. You can complete undergraduate admissions application at wayne.edu/apply. And because you are here today, we are waiving your application fee. There is a $25 application fee, but because you've joined us today, I am waiving your application fee. And the fee waiver is OIP 2023. So when you apply, they will ask if you have an application fee waiver, and you will enter that. It is case sensitive, so this is only for undergraduate applications that there is an application fee waiver. So I want to just stress on that. We will talk a little about graduate in a moment. So what is the requirements for undergraduate application? You will need to submit an official high school transcript, an original copy, and copy translated into English if it's not. And your official high school transcript can only come from your high school counselor or someone from your high school. It cannot come from you, and they will email it directly to our admissions office. So that is something that I want to be able to stress on, is that your official high school transcript has to come from your high school guidance counselor or teacher or someone from your high school, and it cannot come from you. You could submit an ACT or SAT, but we do not require that. So if you decide not to take the ACT or SAT, you can be test optional documents, which is 2 essays, and the essays are 250 word limits to 500. And when you open the application, you could choose 2 of the 5 essays that they offer, and you could write those. So that is something that is important part of the application process. 2 letters of recommendation. These letters of recommendation have to come from an academic source. So whether your counselor, your teacher, or your principal, it has to come directly from your high school for your recommendation letters. and an activities list. So I'm sure some of you have been involved either in like your student senate, student government, any sports, volunteering, community-based. These are what the activities list entails. So that is something that is important to describe. We do require an English language proficiency score. So an English language proficiency score of TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. So I want to have a disclaimer that we do have a list of exempt countries for an English proficiency score, and it is available on our website. But also, when you apply and you list the country you're from, it should indicate to you whether or not it is a waived country. If it is not a waived country, we require one of these 3 exams. So you could take the TOEFL, we require a minimum of a 79, or IELTS 6.5, or Duolingo English exam, which is a minimum of a 120. I want to just stress on, if you do not have your if you do not meet our English language proficiency score, there is another option for you to enroll in our English Language Institute. Our English Language Institute will help you with your English courses. Once you have successfully completed our English Language Institute, you are able to be admitted into our undergraduate program if you meet all the other requirements post English proficiency. So you could take any of these 3 exams. We do not favor one or another. I will say that Duolingo English test, you will get your results fairly quickly, within 2 days. You are required, you can submit unofficial English language proficiency scores, but we do require you to submit official ones once your scores are in the system. I want to now answer the question that is filtering through the chat about scholarships. So for maximum scholarship consideration, you must complete your undergraduate admissions application, including submission of all transcripts, test scores, essays, recommendation by December 15 for priority scholarship consideration. I want to just stress on, there are no full tuition scholarships that are offered. We offer partial scholarships. So you could range between any scholarships that we have, but there's no tuition that will cover 100% of your fully funded. So I want to just put that out there and to have a disclaimer that we do offer good merit-based scholarships, but there's no scholarship that will cover 100% of your scholarship, of your tuition and fees. I want to say, when you are applying for your admissions application, if you decide not to do ACT or SAT, your test optional documents and your GPA all are considered in which scholarship you receive. So we look at it as a whole. We do not just look at only your grades. We do look at your essays, your letters of recommendation, your activities list, your GPA. We look at it as everything at once. And then we decide which scholarship bracket you fall under. And if you are admitted to the university, upon your admission letter, you will get, in your admission letter, it will say which scholarship you have received. So I hope that answered the undergraduate scholarship question. So for maximum scholarship consideration, I will say December 15, 2022. So it is coming up. You should start your application when you get off of our call today, so you can at least begin that application process. There's no scholarship that will cover 100% of your tuition and fees, but there are scholarships that can cover a certain amount of your tuition and fees. There's no supplemental application for undergraduate students. It's just your application, and we will look through and be able to assist and review your application process for scholarships. All right, so I'm just gonna stop here and go to the next slide. We talked about this. So undergraduate merit by December 15. And then our biggest scholarship is the You Are Welcome Here scholarship. And again, it does not cover 100% of your scholarship, but of your tuition and fees, but it will cover, it will be able to have our largest scholarship, which is in-state tuition rate. Our in-state tuition rate is savings of more than 17,000 US dollars a year, and incoming freshmen are only able to apply. Here is our scholarship information. There's an essay component for the You Are Welcome Here scholarship, and winners are announced via email in late March. So that is when if you apply, complete your essays, you will know in March if you received the scholarship. In-state tuition will save about around 50% of your tuition and fees as an international student, and that is a huge savings. So we highly encourage you to apply by December 15, complete your application, and then apply for the You Are Welcome Here scholarship. All right. Graduate admissions. So I'm going to shift focus on this and go into the graduate admissions process. So you could complete the graduate admissions application, and there is a $50 USD application fee for graduate applications. There's no application waiver for graduate students, but you can complete this application system here. And you are able to submit your undergraduate transcript, and unofficially, we do accept that. But then after being admitted, there is an academic evaluation that you have to complete from ECE or WES, and it's not required until after you are admitted. But this determines if your bachelor's degree is equivalent to a bachelor's degree here in the US. So that is something that when you are applying for graduate programs, you can submit your unofficial transcript, but then you are required to submit an official course by course once admitted. You must have the equivalent of a bachelor's degree. So if you're applying for a master's application, 2.75 out of 4.0 is required. If you're applying for doctoral programs, a minimum of a 3.0. As I mentioned, there are certain countries that are exempt for English language proficiency score, which I will put into the chat later on. But if you are not on the exempt list, you are required to submit an English proficiency score. Same thing as the undergraduate level, 79 for TOEFL, 6.5 for IELTS, but the Duolingo exam is a 125 for graduate admissions. Some programs also require GRE or GMAT, and personal statements, letters of recommendation. So when you are applying for the program, it will filter which requirements are, but also at wayne.edu, if you look at the program, you can actually see what the requirements are for each of your programs. I want to also kind of go back to the graduate admissions process. If you do not have a 2.75 GPA out of 4.0 for master's or 3.0 for doc, or meet our English proficiency score, you do not meet the first step of getting your application processed. So these are the basics of entering the graduate admissions process. So if you meet these, you'll move forward with the application process. If you do not meet these requirements, unfortunately, your application will not move to the first step of review. All right. So graduate scholarships and assistantships. Graduate scholarships and assistantships are offered, but are limited for master's programs. They are directly from your department. They are not handled during the admissions process. So once you apply, you will work with your department to see if they have any available scholarships and graduate assistantships or research assistantships. But our office does not handle any of the scholarships and assistantships for graduate students. They are all specific to the departments. You could apply for graduate scholarships at gradschool.wayne.edu/students funding scholarships. And that is handled directly from the schools and colleges. I want to also just talk a little about, I'm seeing some questions I just want to address since I'm on the slide here. Are even if you did not graduate with your bachelor's degree from the United States, you are required to do the academic evaluation once you're admitted. If your country is not on our exempt list, regardless of what major you have completed, you will need to submit an English proficiency score. I will put that link of our English proficiency score waivers in just a moment, but the university has done a whole evaluation just this past semester of which countries can be on the list. So if your country is on the list, you will automatically get waived. If your country is not on the list, you will need to submit an English proficiency score. So I have spent about the last 30 minutes talking. We have our contact is all here. Please follow us on social media. I'm going to actually just take a moment and look through all the questions so I could answer them for you. But it's truly been a pleasure talking to you, and we could get started with Q&A. So I'm going to scroll up and take a look at what majority of these questions are. So let me... All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to... Perfect. All right. So a lot of the questions have, how is the scholarships for international students? As I mentioned earlier, international undergraduate applications, international undergraduate scholarships are handled upon application. So once you complete the application for merit-based scholarships, you're automatically considered based on the information you submit. But the You Are Welcome Here scholarship is a separate application, and that is found on the scholarship website that Logan actually put into the chat. So thank you for putting that. I also want to stress on graduate scholarships are handled through your departments. They're not handled upon the admissions process. So they're not handled through our office. Once you apply, you can reach out directly to the department and see what departmental scholarships are offered. There are a few questions about IELTS and if there's preferences. No preferences. IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo, any of those scholarships, any of those English proficiency scores, you are able to submit. If you are from Canada, I see that a few questions about Canada, Nigeria, Ghana. Those are exempt English proficiency scores. I just put into the chat our link of what countries are exempt. So I believe that will populate shortly if you do not see it. Perfect. Thank you. So if you click this, that link, these are the countries that are exempt. So if you fall under any of these countries, your application will automatically waive the English proficiency score. If your country is not on here, unfortunately, you're not exempt, and you will need to submit an English proficiency score. So a few things about tuition and fees. For undergraduate scholarships, are we supposed to pay the first semester before we get to school? Tuition fees are due once you start. So there is payment plans that international students can enroll in. You could pay over the semester. You could have about 4 payment plans. Your scholarship, if you receive a scholarship, is posted before tuition's due. So you could see actually the full amount that is due. We work with our international students for all payment plans. So a lot of our international students are enrolled in one. And how a payment plan works is our semester begins late August. So you'll have a payment in August, September, October, and then your final one will be in November, since our semester ends in December. We work with our students each semester to ensure that their payment plans are doing correctly. So I see quite a few questions about if your major in undergrad was English or translation and your country is not on the exempt list. Unfortunately, we still require an English proficiency score. So Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, those are the ones that we accept. There's no exceptions if your country's not on the list, as our university just did an entire assessment this past semester on which countries are exempt. How do you select an applicant? That is a great question. We moved for on the undergraduate level as a holistic viewpoint. We really look at your grades, not only your grades, but your recommendation letters, your essays, your activities list. We see a student as a whole. We understand that grades are important, but they're not the only determining factor. We want to see what can a student provide and learn here at Wayne State, and why are they interested in our university. We work with them from the beginning of their admissions process. So my office specifically oversees the international admissions process. And from when your application begins to when you enroll, I will probably be the face that you work with. And then once you enroll, I will be your main person for the next 4 years that you're here. So we really do want to build that relationship with our international students. The students have access to me when they arrive. I help them with their housing, get them adjusted to hopefully make friends that they want to make friends with, get their meal plans, see how they're doing. We also have activities that we host for our students as well. I think I have answered most of the questions. They really related towards scholarships, and I think I covered that. I also covered the English proficiency score. I covered. Perfect. The email that you'll communicate with me through is oip@wayne.edu. And I'm going to go back to this slide for undergraduate students. For undergraduate students, since you attended today, please start your application today so that you can get the fee waiver of OIP 2023, and that you can at least start your application. Start the application so you could receive the waiver, and that you can, once you start the application, please email oip@wayne.edu so that we could help track your application and say that you met Fareed, which is me, and I could start looking through your application process and help you with everything. I will say, you all have been really great with the questions. Thank you so much for everything today. You've been really attentive, and I'm really glad that you're with Wayne State University today. I hope that we could see your application get completed by the December 15th deadline. For graduate students, the deadlines do differ. So if you are a PhD student or a master's student, those deadlines all differ from program to program. So the link that Logan put earlier with the programs, you can see which deadlines are there for.
Thanks so much, Fareed, for presenting today. Really enjoyed the session. I would encourage anybody who does have other questions to visit you at the booth. I put a link in the chat to jump right there. It's a good way to chat directly or request info. Any parting words for us, Fareed, before we let you go?
My last final words are thank you all so much. Wayne State University is a top Research One institution. If you come to Wayne State, you will receive an excellent education, social life, as well as being a well-rounded student. For the admissions process, it is very important for you to for undergraduate students, if you want a chance for a merit scholarship, to complete and submit your application by December 15th. For graduate students, start that application. If you are not have taken the English proficiency exam, I recommend taking the Duolingo test that you could complete. It takes 1 hour to complete. Your exam scores will come within 2 days. IELTS, TOEFL, acceptable as well. But you still have time to really get your application reviewed on time for that. I will be in the booth, but if you have any other questions, our email will be the best route. Thank you all so much.